Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss Kelly, and we are here for our reading lesson today. It is Unit 2, Week 2, Day 4. So we are moving right along. Okay, today our learning goals are to build stamina for independent reading, identify and analyze facts and details in source texts, develop reasons for an opinion based on facts and details, and share our ideas in constructive conversation. Now, that part we really won't be able to do because we're not able to have a conversation. But if we were in school or if we were live, we would be sort of sharing those ideas. So just keep that in the back of your mind as we go through. Okay, we're going to skip independent reading for now, and I'm going to save that until the end. So anytime that you have left, you can do your independent reading on your own. Okay, so let's first start by reviewing what an opinion is. Remember, an opinion is what you think or how you feel about something. It can be supported using strong reasons from different sources to make it more credible. And that means to kind of give it more weight or give it more importance. And we usually give reasons for our opinions, right? I dislike, because it would be like if I said my favorite season is fall because I love the cooler weather and getting to wear warmer clothes and pumpkin spice and when the leaves change color, right? And my best friend might say, I love summer. I love the hot weather. I love going to the beach and the pool. I like to have outdoor barbecues. Now, neither one of us is right or wrong, but we have our own reasons for our opinion, okay? Now, we're going to be working on an opinion essay, and that is going to be about the story that we've been reading in our booklet, okay? So an opinion essay should include all of these things over here in the chart. And that includes a strong introduction, reasons for your opinion, evidence and details from the text that support your opinion, and a conclusion. But today we're going to focus on these two: the reasons for your opinion and evidence from the text, okay? Now, let's review the writing prompt, what it is that we're being asked to do. And the writing prompt is over here. After reading The Drive Down and Grandpop's Surprise, write a multi-paragraph essay in which you answer the question, would you recommend author Jason Reynolds to readers? Support your opinion with details from the excerpts. Be sure to include an introduction, support for your opinion using information from the selections, and a conclusion that is related to your opinion. So today we're only going to be focused on that second bullet point: support for your opinion using information from the selections. So first you have to decide what is your opinion, okay? Then you have to decide what reasons, what evidence from the text will you use to support that opinion. So let's go back into the texts that we read, The Drive Down and Grandpop's Surprise, and I will have these posted as a material if you do not have your booklet. So the prompt is asking us to write an opinion essay about the author Jason Reynolds and whether or not we would recommend him to other readers. So today we're going to look for evidence from the text that will help support our opinion. Now, here is an excerpt from The Drive Down. And I'm going to look for some evidence that will help to support my opinion or help develop reasons for my opinion. So I'm going to focus in on this paragraph right here. The boys had arrived 2 nights earlier after a long, cramped ride in the back of their dad's old Honda. Cramped, at least for Jeannie, because Ernie, in a cheeseburger coma, had stretched out on the back seat as if it were his own personal couch, forcing Jeannie to be smushed against the window for most of the trip. Jeannie had thought about playing Pete and repeat by mimicking Ernie's nasty snores. But then he realized it wouldn't matter because Ernie wasn't awake to get annoyed by it anyway. And that was the whole point of the game. So to take his mind off the discomfort of being trapped under Ernie's legs, stewing in the thick silence between his folks, who had managed to not talk to each other for the past 4 hours. Jeannie flipped through the pages of his notebook where he kept his best questions. Some he had already answered, and some were still mysteries. Now, as I read that, it was easy for me to create a mental image or a movie in my mind of the two brothers in the back seat of the car. Jeannie kind of like smushed against the window and Ernie kind of sprawled out there, right? Oh, I have sun coming in. It might be coming in from the front window. I can relate to the characters because they remind me of me and my little brother, right? I call him little, he's an adult now. But when we were younger, we were 12 years apart, but we still bickered and got on each other's nerves and would purposely annoy each other. So I can relate to that. Now we're going to look a little bit closer at author's craft. So this is, how does Jason Reynolds write his story? What does he use when he is writing? What tools does he use? And it might be dialogue. It might be the setting, the plot, the tone, or like kind of like how the story feels. And I noticed that Jason Reynolds uses informal dialect. He's not talking in a very fancy, using big words kind of way. He's using words that we would all use in normal everyday conversation. It sounds just like we would normally sound when we talk, maybe using some slang or dialect that is more informal, that makes it more relatable to us. They're like weasels or something, but tougher. Know what I'm saying? Like they're small, but they ain't scared to get busy, even on lions, Jeannie had rambled. The fact that his parents had neither asked him about honey badgers or even knew why he cared about them in the first place never stopped him from offering up random info at random times. That was the sort of his thing. He was different from Ernie in that way. Jeannie was the kind of kid who kept a jacked up notebook and a pen in his pocket so that he could jot down interesting things whenever they came. The point was to keep a list, a numbered list, because to Jeannie, the more questions you had, the more answers you could find. And the more answers you found, the more you knew. And the more you knew, the less you made mistakes. And Jeannie wasn't about mistakes. So I noticed that Jason Reynolds is writing the way that people would talk, right? Leaving the G off the end of saying. Saying, ain't, right? They ain't scared to get busy. And jacked up notebook, like jacked up means like it's kind of raggedy and old and roughed up. So he's using words that people would normally use in conversation. And that makes it more relatable. It makes it easier for us to understand because that's how people would normally talk. So today you're going to be using what we're calling a 3-column chart. And the first column will have the name of the selection of the text that you're talking about, then any facts and details that you're including from that text, and then the reason that it supports your opinion. So my opinion would be, yes, I would recommend author Jason Reynolds to other readers. Now, I use the Drive Down and Grandpa's Surprise as my sources, my selections. Here are some of the facts and details I included. 2 brothers cramped in the backseat of a car. The quote, but then he realized it wouldn't matter because Ernie wasn't awake to get annoyed. And that was the whole point of that game. The boys were upset about not having a computer or cell phone service at their grandparents' home. And relatable characters. So the reason relatable characters is I can relate to them. That makes sense to me because it reminds me of me and my brother. So relatable characters is a reason I would say, yes, I recommend Jason Reynolds because we can kind of all relate to this in some way. Another reason I would give is that informal dialect. He writes in a way that I understand. And in the Drive Down, he says, but tougher. Know what I'm saying? That's how people talk, right? They kind of, I'm moving out of the sunbeam. Okay. That's the way people talk. They talk in that more informal way, and that makes more sense. I think kids would be able to read that and understand it. So your 3-column chart is going to be posted as an assignment. You're going to give the selection. Where did the, which one are you talking about? The drive down or grandpa's surprise, any facts and details, examples, quotations, and then the reason. Why does this support your opinion? Okay. Now, I gave you this 3-column chart. I handed it to you as a paper yesterday. But if for some reason you do not have it, or maybe you lost it or whatever, I will also post it so that you can type in it if you don't have it. Now, if you type in it, the only thing is you won't have it to copy from when we need it in class. So we may have to print that out. But so if you have the paper copy, write it on the paper copy. Okay? And there it is. It will be posted in case you need it. But if you have it as the paper copy, do it as the paper copy. Bring it with you on Monday. Okay? And I will see you guys next week. Anytime you have left, you can do independent reading, okay?